Yes, now the tension in the camp of APC, because right now Trump says that they are going to monitor the next election in Nigeria, which will mean that the APC might find it hard to rig, because there's nothing APC holds right now to campaign with except rigging. And here says that U.S. congressman says Washington will closely monitor Nigeria's next election while reviewing security assistance and religious freedom concerns. And here also said that we will be paying close attention to Nigeria's next election. U.S. Congressman Moore says they're going to watch and monitor the next election, but that's not the main issue. People are saying that they should not be focused on that. They should focus on insecurity. Here says that the youth president tells Trump to prioritize Nigeria's insecurity. Kano should release over 27 poll monitoring. They are after insecurity, and Kano should release that the main thing is not even the election, that the main thing is security. Because if they cannot guarantee Nigeria security, next election they will still use insecurity to rig next election. Because this is what the APC government did in 2015, and they might do it again in 2027. And here also say that Trump administration should release Tinubu's narcotic files before promising to monitor Nigeria's election. They are after APC government being probed of narcotic file, that they should release Tinubu narcotic file, because we know there have been an accusation that Tinubu was involved in a drug trafficking, and then they are asking that the US government should release the files before promising Nigeria to monitor the next election. You see that people are not even more about the election, they are more of what the government should do now. The US government should first of all tackle insecurity happening in Nigeria before talking about probing or monitoring the next election. Here also said insecurity, for the sake of our dear country, Tinubu should either resign or abstain from seeking re-election. P2B, that Tinubu should not even worry about re-election, that he has failed. He should resign or just exempt himself or abstain himself from seeking re-election, because that is what the APC government are working tirelessly, buying cars, building houses for judges. All these are the plans of APC to rig next election. And P2B said that he should abstain or rather resign because of his failed governance, his incompetency. These are the things P2B is hammering on. And here says that no competitive bidding, no feasibility study, everything about the Bola Tinubu coastal highway project is fraud, because we all have heard many negative things about that project, people losing their life. And I also heard that that project caused that flood that happened in Lagos, and nothing has been done about it by our government. They've not come out to say anything. Just take a look at the videos I have for you guys. This is for Better for Nigeria. You will hear everything he said. The amount of views about us in the comments. I'll be getting in this video.
Riley Moore is generating fierce reactions in Nigeria after he declared in a recent statement that the United States will be paying very close attention to how Nigeria's 2027 elections are executed. Let's take a look.
As you may be aware, the elections are upcoming next year in Nigeria, 2027.
I'm aware.
Is there anything more that the United States can be doing in support, either politically or other ways, that really allow for a fair and free election over there, as opposed to just a formality?
Yeah, what I'd say is that we're certainly going to be watching these results and how these elections unfold and how they're executed. And that's something that myself and the administration are going to be paying very close attention to.
Now, Moore's comments come against the backdrop of growing concerns about electoral integrity ahead of 2027, and Nigerians are reacting with a mix of skepticism and cautious hope. Many are questioning whether U.S. scrutiny will actually change anything on the ground, while others welcome any pressure that could deter electoral malpractice. And I'll take some reactions. Evelyn wrote on X, America paying close attention to Nigeria's election while INEC and the judiciary are still sorting out 2023 is noted. Attention is fine. The question is, what comes after it? Because international observation without consequence has never stopped anything in Nigeria. David wrote on X, well, we have heard this music before. USA should learn to back up words with action, sanction, freeze assets, and if possible, arrest election riggers when they come to America. Also reject rigged elections and don't recognize any government that come in through rigged elections. Rufai, your thoughts before I take more.
I mean, Oji, yes, America has said this constantly, but the question is, yes, I think in some areas they did mete out some decisions, in the past for people, based on the Magnitsky Act and all of that. But see, one thing I've come to notice is this. America is a sovereign nation with interests. Once a political dynamics is completed, America will normally align and try to work with whoever is a beneficiary of that election. Right. Let's not deceive ourselves. This is just rhetoric. They say this all the time, but it doesn't mean it's practical. But I also want to flip it by asking, if the tables were turned, do we go and inspect or have a word on American elections? It's just because of this unequal balance in the world that some people are getting excited that America that has its own interests. Are Americans' elections too clean? Have you not heard accusation or counter-accusation about the elections in America itself?
All right.
Is it not the same American elections that you have a lot of back and forth as regards Russian interference? So the question I ask, who makes them the police of the world anyway? Economic power makes them the police of the world. Maybe when we to grow that kind of economic power, we'll be able to have that influence. Maybe that's why Trump can call FIFA president and say, reverse red card for Fulani, and red card was reversed. I think what we should do and look at internally is how we can also have our elections here that can be credible. We've done it in the past. We did it in 2015. I mean, that was an election where the winners and losers accepted their fates.
Right.
Not to say there was no rigging in 2015, but there was some level of civility. Why can't we, also do things better here? But all this America will intervene in our life.
Rufai, because I teased that story in the headline, the red card thing. No, it's okay. I wanted to just ask. They said Folarin did not deserve the red card. Is that something that you want? Is it true?
He deserved the red card.
Okay, all right, fine, fantastic.
Sorry, I teased it.
No, it's perfect. I wanted to just say because I teased it. That you say he deserved. Plenty people are saying that he doesn't.
They've analyzed it and it was a well-earned
It was okay,
red card.
fine.
Yes.
All right, fine. Now we told you we'll be reading your comments, and we'll take this comment from Noah on Leke regarding this U.S. election story. Noah wrote on Leke, the United States will closely monitor the 2027 Nigeria's election, said Congressman Riley Moore. The question is, does that change anything? Will your report even hold water? Is it not clear that the Nigerian government chooses the report that pleases the government, not the truth? Well, let's keep monitoring, at least for record purposes, and that will be all. Well, thank you to our viewers. Thank you for sharing your posts with us from Leke. We'll continue to highlight posts from Leke as well. Let's now highlight this story that reads like fiction, but is devastatingly real. In 2007, a 14-year-old Gospel Kinane from Ogoni land in River State disappeared without a trace, breaking the hearts of his parents, who both died in quick succession, never knowing what happened to their son. 18 years later, Gospel has now been found, not at home, not abroad, but inside the Nigerian Correctional Center in Port Harcourt. He is now 33 years old. Arise News correspondent Ovieteme George covered the story.
That very fateful day, we were in the house between 8 to 9 o'clock, from 9 o'clock to 10 till morning. We don't see him. My mother could not go anywhere, nobody go anywhere. We were searching for him here and there. Even this prison yard, this collectional center, we go there almost 2 times.
Gospel's disappearance dealt his parents a fatal blow.
My mother be the first person to think and worry, saying different things, and died. Then my father also died on the spot of this thing. And we were just like that.
Fortune, however, smiled on Paul when a legal practitioner took him to the correctional center to see someone he thought could be his missing brother.
When I get there, I just come in. I saw my brother outside, where he was sitting down. If you look at him, it's like a no human being again. He was there, started crying. He was normal, but get there, he become abnormal. I need justice. Because a whole man cannot just be taken away from us, no information, no case file, nothing about him. And then drop in the prison yard for 18 years, good 18 years. Now he come back, become nonsense on earth. No, there must be justice about it.
Really heartbreaking. Thank you, Ovieteme George, for uncovering this story. Now, gospel's mental health is now a serious concern after 18 years of incarceration, and a 10 billion naira lawsuit has been filed against both the federal government and Rivers State government over his wrongful detention. But here's the question that demands an answer. Who put a 14-year-old child behind bars? And why did nobody come looking for him for 18 years? Dr. Abat.
No, indeed. His family looked for him. They went to hospitals. But the correctional center where he was eventually found, his brother said they had been there twice.
Yes.
But what is the problem? He is known in that correctional center as Baridi Sunday. But they were looking for a person
exactly.
who had been given another
name
by the correctional center, a new name, Baridi Sunday. So they were looking for Gospel Kinani, but the man inside the custody was a Baridi Sunday, who did not exist to his family. Now, this is part of the problem with the administration of justice in Nigeria and with human dignity. This young man was said to have left home 18 years ago. At the time, he was 14 years old, and then he disappeared. Now, there's nowhere in Nigerian laws where wandering or loitering is an offense. There are many more of such persons that will be either in police detention or in correctional centers who were just arrested for wandering or for loitering. They will ask you, where is your identity card? You cannot produce it. The police will just dump you in their van, and from there you find yourself in prison for no offense whatsoever. This Baridi Sunday, he could have died in the correctional center, except that Justice Simeon Amadi, because chief judges have the right sometimes to go to prisons and to try to do a review and free people. That's how he got lucky. Some people never get lucky. They die in custody. So this is the problem with, the protection of human dignity, the human beings, a person's right to life in this country. And this is, again, to use the phrase about institutional failure. And that's why we urge that there should be, in fact, an audit of all persons in our prisons or correctional centers, they now call them, who are awaiting trial persons or are persons, who have not been taken to court, whose offenses are even unknown. Those prisons are congested. The point has been made. And many of the persons there, they don't even know their offense. They don't even know who their contact persons are. And I think that to the extent that the responsibility of government is to ensure our fundamental human rights under Chapter 4 of the Constitution, this is a very embarrassing outcome. Yeah. And I hope that the state and whoever is behind his unlawful detention for 18 years, he practically has lost his life, he now has mental issues, we ensure that he is properly rehabilitated, given treatment, and compensated, and that his family will perhaps also file a suit immediately against the Nigerian government, to enforce its fundamental human rights under the laws of Nigeria.
Well, very well said, Dr. Bati. Thank you for your submission. Now let's take a look at some security stories. After more than 2 months in captivity, worshippers abducted during a Christ Apostolic Church crusade in Eda Onyo, in Ekiti State, have finally regained their freedom. The victims were kidnapped on April 28th after gunmen stormed the church, killed the officiating pastor, and abducted 16 worshippers. Now here is the moment the abductees regained their freedom, which has since gone viral. Well, the community had reportedly raised 10.5 million naira, but the captives remained in the forest for over 2 months, enduring starvation, beatings, and severe abuse. Well, Nigerians are happy that the Ekiti victims are now free, but several other kidnapping victims, including students abducted in Oyo State, remain in captivity. The latest rescue has renewed calls for more proactive intelligence and faster security responses to prevent attacks before they occur. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigeria's strong diplomatic ties with the Vatican, pledging continued support for interfaith dialogue as a tool to tackle Nigeria's security challenges. Tinubu rolled out the red carpet for Paul Gallagher, the Holy See's Secretary for Relations with States, at his residence over the weekend, ushered by Foreign Affairs Minister Bianca Ojukwu. The president said his administration remains committed to peace and religious harmony among Nigeria's diverse faith communities. Well, in Osun State, a dramatic confrontation as the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, paid a visit to Governor Ademola Adeleke at the government house in Osogbo and dropped a bombshell, alleging that criminal suspects wanted by the police are hiding inside the government house itself. Let's take a look.
Tell you, sir, that I've not had complaints here, there, and everywhere I have lied, and I will explain everything to you one by one, sir. I've heard that we are not happy, and some people are not happy with the Commissioner of Police for this reason and that reason. He too has briefed me. He briefed me that some suspect is looking for hibernating in the government house. I looked at that. If that is true, why should suspects be in government house? But I've told him, as the police officer in charge, he has a way of going about all this. And I've heard that this party and that party are hibernating suspect criminals.
Well, Governor Ademola Adeleke fired back, flatly denying the claims and issuing a striking personal challenge to the Inspector General of Police, declaring that if his own son is found guilty of any crime, he should be arrested. Now, with the Osun governorship election fast approaching, allegations of political interference, police neutrality, and the alleged harboring of criminal suspects are set to remain at the very center of this campaign. Nigerians are watching. Still in Osun State, an update on the Uni Osun assault scandal. The Depot Nigeria Army Osogbo, in a viral post on X, says it has not yet received any formal complaint, medical report, or credible evidence to substantiate the rape allegations by students of Uni Osun. The Army says it has launched a transparent investigation into allegations and is urging any victim or witness to come forward and present evidence directly to its board of inquiry. I mean, Ayo, can you imagine that? We're hearing, I mean, we did have a video about this woman saying that she was pushed to the door. She was, molested by the army. Yes, the army says they don't have more evidence. They don't have enough evidence. Maybe we can send them that video one more time so they can see and maybe question the young woman who says that she was molested, really.